Listen closely. On this final day of August, the moon enters its first quarter phase while simultaneously passing directly in front of Antares, the giant red star known as the heart of the Scorpion constellation. This rare lunar occultation of Antares creates a cosmic moment of unprecedented power, temporarily veiling the pulsating heart of passion and visceral truth so that you can finally hear your own heart without interference. Antares, this massive red supergiant star, represents the core of our deepest desires, our most authentic passions, and the secrets we bury beneath layers of social conditioning. When the moon eclipses this stellar giant tonight, the universe is orchestrating a forced internal audit of your soul. The first quarter moon brings crisis energy, demanding decisive action, while the occultation of Antares strips away all external noise so you can confront the truth of where your heart truly lies. This astronomical event coincides with the closing of August, a month that has served as a cosmic forge, applying relentless pressure and unbearable heat to reveal what is real and what is illusion in your life. The convergence of these celestial forces creates a moment of absolute finality, where the energetic debts of this transformative month must be settled before the calendar turns. The sharp vibration you may be feeling right now is not anxiety. It is the resonance of cosmic judgment, a reckoning without jury or executioner, where your soul stands as the only witness. As Antares disappears behind the lunar disk, every truth you have avoided, every passion you have betrayed, and every promise left unfulfilled rises to the surface with brutal clarity. Take a moment to feel into this energy. Notice how your body is responding to these cosmic frequencies. Are you feeling a weight in your chest, a restlessness that sleep cannot cure, or perhaps an unusual clarity about situations that have been confusing you for months? Share in the comments below your zodiac sign and tell me what you have been feeling most intensely during this powerful August transformation. Are you experiencing the physical exhaustion, the emotional urgency, or the spiritual clarity that comes when the universe demands your evolution? Your experience matters and helps us all understand how these cosmic forces are working through our collective consciousness. The moon's passage across Antares tonight is not merely an astronomical curiosity. It is a cosmic punctuation mark, the final period at the end of a sentence that has been writing itself across the fabric of your reality for 31 days. August arrived with a mission to force the harvest of everything planted in the first half of this year, whether those seeds contained medicine or poison. The month has been relentless in its demand for authenticity, stripping away masks that became too heavy to wear and exposing smiles that became impossible to forge. Think about the conversations you were forced to have during these past weeks. Remember the truths that bubbled to the surface like lava, impossible to ignore or suppress. August functioned as a cosmic metallurgist, subjecting every aspect of your life to intense heat and pressure to determine what would withstand the test of authenticity. Everything false, everything fragile, everything built on the shifting sand of convenience has been reduced to ash. The person you were on July 31st no longer exists. That version of yourself was consumed in August's transformative fire. The decisions you made, and crucially the ones you avoided, have carved permanent grooves into the landscape of your reality. Every word spoken in courage, every cowardly silence, every step toward authentic living, and every retreat into familiar lies has been recorded not in some celestial ledger, but in the very fiber of your being. Energy does not lie, and the universe maintains perfect records. Today, August 31st, marks the moment when the ink of those choices dries forever. The cosmic bell ringing through this Antares occultation is not announcing future possibilities. It is declaring the irrevocable end of a chapter, the final closing of accounts that can no longer be revised or negotiated. This day functions as the great cosmic echo. Throughout August, you have been shouting your true intentions to the universe through your actions, words, fears, and desires. Today, with the moon veiling the heart of the Scorpion, the universe shouts back, and its message is an exact reflection of what you have been broadcasting. For some, this echo brings the melody of fulfilled promises and authentic choices. For others, it carries the sound of bridges burning and illusions crumbling. Do not fear the sound of this cosmic feedback. Fear not hearing it clearly. This final toll is not punishment, but clarity. It offers you the opportunity to stop fighting against a tide that has already turned, to cease attempting to revive what no longer has a pulse. The war is over. The weapons of self-deception can be lowered. The peace treaty or declaration of surrender lies before you, waiting only for your signature of acceptance. The power and weight of this final day of August reverberates not only in the distant heavens, but in the only place where truth truly matters, within your physical body, your emotional landscape, and your spiritual core. Your body serves as the most honest antenna you possess, picking up cosmic frequencies long before your mind can translate them into conscious understanding. What has your physical form been telling you in recent days? You are not imagining the bone-deep fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to cure. This is not weakness, but your body's response to the gravitational pull of a closing cycle. It is the accumulated weight of all battles fought during August, all energy expended to maintain what no longer wanted to stand. Your limbs feel heavier, your movements more deliberate, because your physical structure understands that the journey is complete. The sacred exhaustion you feel is the natural precursor to surrender. This physical weight is accompanied by emotional urgency, a tightness in your chest that wakes you in the night. There is a restlessness driving you toward final conversations, ultimate decisions about relationships or career paths that hang in the air like approaching storms. This pressure is not ordinary anxiety, but your energetic heart demanding alignment before the cosmic clock strikes midnight on this transformative month. The universe is making its final boarding call, and your emotional baggage must be properly sorted. What needs to be spoken must be voiced today. What requires forgiveness must be released today. What demands to be abandoned must be left behind today. The weight you carry is the mass of unmade choices, and it will only grow denser with each passing hour. Most profound of all is the spiritual weight, which manifests not as burden but as unshakable clarity. This is the moment when you look at certain people, dreams, or life paths that once filled you with hope and feel nothing. There is no anger, no sadness, no longing, just the quiet recognition that those chapters have concluded. Certain doors have not merely closed, but have vanished entirely from the wall of possibility. Your spirit is revealing truth without the distorting filters of nostalgia or attachment. This is a form of grief, but it is clean grief that does not petition for resurrection. This spiritual weight is the mass of pure truth, and while truth may be harsh, it provides the only solid foundation upon which something genuinely new can be constructed. These three dimensions of weight, physical, emotional, and spiritual, are not symptoms of dysfunction, but proof that you are perfectly attuned to the cosmic closing underway. They represent the harvest of what August has cultivated within you. With recognition of this weight comes the inevitable summons to appear before the tribunal of your own consciousness. Forget everything you know about human justice systems. There are no marble halls, no robed judges, no law books written by mortal hands. The Tribunal of August 31st convenes in the most intimate and terrifying courtroom of all, the center of your own awareness. You serve simultaneously as defendant, prosecutor, and jury, while the only witness called to testify is the naked truth living beneath your skin. Today your soul takes the witness stand and demands to be heard without interruption, objection, or the sophisticated evasions of your ego. What faces judgment here are not your mistakes or stumbles. The universe remains indifferent to your errors, viewing them merely as texture of experience. What stands trial is your dishonesty, your complicity with illusion, your willingness to participate in self-deception. The case being presented concerns the lies you have whispered to yourself in moments of weakness. Those seemingly small falsehoods muttered in darkness to justify inertia. I am not worthy of love. It is too late to change direction. I need this toxic relationship to survive. If I show my true self, I will be abandoned. These lies have functioned as invisible contracts, binding you to limitation and fear. Under the relentless light of August's conclusion, amplified by the Antares occultation, these deceptions can no longer hide in shadow. They stand exposed, fragile and pathetic in their falseness. You can see clearly now the contract you signed with fear, trading your freedom for a security that was never real. You recognize the pact made with resentment, allowing it to occupy your heart without paying rent while poisoning every room of your inner house. You acknowledge the agreement sealed with mediocrity, accepting a diminished life in exchange for avoiding the terror of your own unlimited potential. Throughout August, the universe provided countless opportunities to nullify these contracts. It sent signs through people, crises, and circumstances. It whispered, then spoke, then shouted warnings and invitations. Now, on this final day, it is no longer requesting your attention. It is serving an energetic eviction notice. August does not negotiate or apologize. It demands definition. The verdict of this cosmic tribunal is not guilty or innocent. It presents a choice, final and binary, devoid of middle ground. On one side lies the familiar weight of continuation. You can choose to maintain these false contracts, these comfortable lies, these exhausted masks. No external force will prevent this choice. September's door will open, and you can drag everything forward, pretending this day of reckoning never occurred. But you will know, your soul will know, and the weight will fuse permanently to your bones. On the other side waits an act of radical sovereignty, the ultimate release. Imagine holding in your hands the weight you have carried. Feel its texture, its shape. Perhaps it resembles heavy rusted chains, smooth, cold stones, or yellowed contracts written in your own hand. You have gripped this weight so long and with such force that your fingers have molded around it. Your muscles have adapted to the constant tension. Your hand has become a claw, incapable of receiving anything new. The great act of power available today is not finding external force to shatter chains or crush stones. It is something far simpler yet infinitely more profound. It is the gentle opening of your hand. It is letting go. It is detachment. This represents surrender not of defeat, but of victory. It is your soul informing your body that the war has ended, that you no longer need to maintain this grip. This act of release is not violent but merciful. It does not involve punishment of self or others, but liberation of both from the obligation to sustain what has died. It means looking at what weighs you down and declaring with unprecedented authority that this no longer belongs to you. This contract is void. This pain no longer defines your identity. By opening your hand, you do not hurl the weight away in anger. You gently return it to the universal flow, allowing it to dissolve back into neutral energy. You release the person, habit, or memory from the function of serving as your anchor. You free them so that you can be free. This is your only task today, your sole responsibility to witness truth, honor what it reveals, then let go without anger, guilt, or ceremony. Following the sharp sound of threads breaking, after the final flame consumes outdated contracts, what remains is not an echo of pain but deep, resounding silence. This is the stillness that exists in a hurricane's eye. The world may continue spinning outside, but here at your center lies a calm you may not have experienced in years or perhaps ever. In this silence, the first sensation emerging is not joy or even relief, but strangeness. The absence of weight carried so long initially disorients. Your shoulders, freed from their burden, seem to float. Your chest, released from pressure, feels vast and hollow. It resembles a prisoner who, after decades in darkness, takes first steps under open sky. Freedom proves so immense it nearly frightens. Allow yourself to experience this strangeness fully. It represents your nervous system recalibrating to new reality, one where suffering no longer serves as your default frequency. The final day of August orchestrates not burial but burning. What you have severed was not simply discarded, but offered to transformation's sacred fire. This fire does not destroy but purifies, burning pain while preserving lessons, consuming attachment while revealing essence, incinerating false stories while returning original truth. Observe this purification process. What was dense becomes clear. What was murky sharpens into focus. You are not erasing life chapters, but extracting their purest essence, their most potent fuel. What remains from this burning are ashes, and herein lies the ultimate secret. Society conditions you to fear ashes, viewing them as symbols of death and endings. This represents profound deception. In Earth's wisdom, ashes constitute the richest fertilizer available. They are concentrated promises of new growth. Every particle of ash remaining from this burning contains fragments of wisdom, neutralized memories, recovered power. What once festered as open wounds now serves as nutrients for your soil. What once functioned as poison now provides antidote. You do not emerge from this process empty-handed, mourning losses. You leave carrying fertilizer for the garden you will begin planting tomorrow. You have become your own alchemist, your own healer, guardian of power born from courage to burn what was necessary. With this understanding, strangeness transforms into lightness. A lightness beginning in your feet and rising up your spine, realigning each vertebra. Suddenly, drawing deep breath requires no effort. It becomes pure pleasure. Air entering your lungs seems cleaner, more alive. Mental fog that accompanied you, the constant static of worry and deliberation, begins dissipating. For the first time in memory, you can hear your own heart. Not the muffled sound from beneath layers of obligations and fears, but the clear, strong, steady beat of a heart now beating solely for itself. This defines freedom, not the absence of challenges, but the presence of yourself. It is the sensation of occupying your own body fully, without debts, excuses, or required permissions. Whoever dares experience this lightness today will discover that tomorrow's dawn differs fundamentally from all previous mornings. September 1st's sun will not merely mark another day, but inaugurate an entirely new timeline. Light will carry different colors because your eyes no longer filter reality through melancholy of the past. The world remains unchanged, but you have transformed. Because you have changed, everything around you will inevitably shift in response. This constitutes true flight, not a leap into unknown territory, but the simple act of taking your next step without the anchor that held you to the ocean floor. Flight means freedom to choose your breakfast without regret's bitter aftertaste. It represents ability to meet someone's gaze and say no without experiencing guilt. It embodies courage to dream again, not with the hopelessness of wishful thinking, but with the authority of conscious creation. The closing was not your story's end, but the conclusion of its introduction. Your life's real book, the authentic narrative, begins now. The great gift of August's final day was not cosmic amnesty for accumulated debts, but something far more valuable, complete sovereignty. It did not erase your past, but provided courage to release the anchor tying you to it. The sensation of silence and strange lightness you experience now emerges from this clarity, from the simple yet profound authority of knowing what no longer belongs to you. Tomorrow begins the work of walking in this new lightness. The external world remains unchanged, but you have transformed fundamentally. There will be echoes, tests, moments when habit attempts pulling you back toward familiar weight. The crucial difference is that from today forward, you know truth. You recognize freedom's feeling. You no longer negotiate with ghosts or phantoms. You possess the power of choice, forged in the fire of absolute honesty. This sovereignty represents your true power, the foundation for whatever comes next. The moon's occultation of Antares tonight marks more than astronomical phenomenon. It represents the universe's final gift to you this August, the temporary veiling of external passion, so you can discover the eternal flame burning within your own heart. As the red giant disappears behind lunar shadow, what emerges in that darkness is not emptiness, but the brilliant light of your own authentic self. This is your moment of cosmic graduation, your initiation into a new level of being where you no longer require external validation or permission to be who you truly are. The universe has demanded your final transformation, and you have answered that call with courage, honesty, and the ultimate act of self-love, the willingness to let go of everything that diminishes your light. The burning is complete. The tribunal has rendered its verdict. The weight has been released. As August closes and September dawns, you stand free, sovereign, and ready to write the next chapter of your life with the authority of one who has faced the fire and emerged not destroyed but purified, not diminished but expanded, not lost, but finally completely found.